Hey guys, we'll get started in just a minute or two. AR, why don't you try to talk?
The good news is we're not continuing that conversation over the public
Yeah,
channel.
yes,
Let's not talk about that anymore.
yeah. Dev, why don't you try saying a word or two?
I mean, speaking of fun conversations, I get woken up by my phone ringing at like 10 in the morning, and it's my boss. And it's like, ah, shit, don't tell me I have to come in early. It's like, don't bother coming in at all. The store has no power, there's 2 feet of snow, and we're closing.
That was
Oh,
Tuesday.
that's why you've been so jolly today, Dev. I was
I
gonna
had
say,
a snow
I was
day.
gonna say you seemed extra perky all day today, like very excitable, and I was wondering if something good had happened. It's just you didn't have to work.
I bet you got hit with what we got Saturday night.
I mean, probably it's like that huge clusterfuck storm that's over like the
Mhm.
upper East Coast, and
Oh,
apparently it
that's right. You
spun
guys
around.
had a proper nor'easter this weekend, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're only supposed to get like 6 inches, but apparently it collided with something coming down from Canada, turned around, and we're getting rained in the ass again.
Yeah, we had something like 9 inches on Tuesday and then like another 2 or 3 on Saturday night. Tuesday we could not
We're
get.
getting like 2 or 3 feet.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, that'll happen too, but yeah, 9 inches on Tuesday, we could not get out. Like, we did not take Lucas to daycare, and we both took off work because with Lucas in there, we weren't supposed to have, because we had the virtual options, we were not supposed to have school days this year. We were just gonna, or snow days this year. We were just gonna go virtual, and it's Tuesday they decided, nah, forget it. We're just gonna have a proper snow day because
I spent an
apparently
hour like playing with the snowblower, and then I rolled around the snow like a
yeah.
weasel.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's
Mm-hmm.
like, please get out of the snow. You look like you're dead.
I
An
think
adult.
I
You can't
think we
stop
can.
me.
I think that's a good place to start the show, wouldn't you say?
Weasel rolling. Yeah.
You guys ready to go?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Welcome to the podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, a run with the will.
Air Pulver, Digimon System Restore.
DevQ and I work on Wikimon.
It's
That
yeah.
that awkward pause where you try to think of something funny to say and you're like, nah, we'll just go with the
No,
conventional.
see, in my case, it's awkward pause where I'm about to pull up Discord to see if she got disconnected.
To be fair, my internet's been going in and out because of the ice and snow.
Snowpocalypse 2021.
It
I
happens.
suppose it would be for you. This was the worst one we've gotten last week, but I think we
Yeah.
can do better.
How has everyone's week been?
Not bad considering. I've been all right.
It exists.
Tiring.
I will go with tiring also. And AR has to struggle this week to come up with anger, especially because episode 34, Hikari and Tailmon, he likes.
Yeah, it was a good episode. I wasn't ready for this.
Oh,
I don't know what to say.
Be honest. The instant the Commandomon stuff started, you were already like, man, I'm already going to give this a good review, even if it's bad.
No, that's one of those where even if the review is bad, I take a moment to go, okay, but this was adorable.
Yeah, the Commandomon stuff. Tailmon speaking dog to Commandomon. That
Cats
was
and dogs living together, mass hysteria. Yes.
Yeah.
Was anyone else reminded of that one video like years back where it's like someone catches their cat on camera barking at the neighbor's dogs?
No.
I don't think I've seen the video,
Shame.
but I have cats. I know how they bark.
I was thinking of the video where the guy is lecturing the dog and it just keeps like howling back at him. Yeah. So the episode itself, I don't know how I feel that it sort of just jumped ahead past where we left off to, and the writing, Hikari and Tailmon are on. Did it feel like it might have been nice to stick where they were for a moment rather than just like jumping ahead?
Only if we were going to get an explanation of what the hell was going on with Tailmon and Dark Knightmon. I'm reserving
I mean,
anything about that until
Goku sort of gave us an explanation, but then everyone's still arguing about that because that's not
yeah,
really the
I don't.
show. That's the
Yeah, I'm
narrator glossing
as
over
much
stuff.
as much as this show wants to be DBZ, Goku is not a character.
Hey, Goku is in every episode of Digimon Adventure, Every
Is
episode.
every episode of Tamers too.
Yes.
But yeah,
You be glad that we have Goku to help ease you into Digimon Ball Z.
can't say now in hindsight I can't say we weren't warned.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to
fair.
answer your question, no, I don't. If they're not going to, if they don't want to explain that right now, or if they don't want to explain
Yeah, I
that at
guess
all,
so.
which is a different issue, then yeah, that's fine because we kind of know what Tailmon's doing here. I mean, she's going to go after Millenniumon. So no, it's fine. It's like we're on route.
So we start off with Commandomon's Wild Ride, and we get to see him launch into his, I don't quite want to call it a mode, but sort of the water equivalent where we get the bubble thing. His tail starts to spin around. We get the
It was
light.
adorable.
That's a multifunctional puppers.
Yeah. And then
He's literally a duck.
I want to see a space. I want to see a space mode.
Yeah, and the episode. Well, wouldn't that be the same mode?
Komondomon's gonna fix the ISS situation himself.
see, here's the problem. If that happens now, we're just all gonna be laughing about it. So
that's going to be better than what they actually do. Calling it now.
Yeah. So we got some explanation of Faga, which is basically where like the primary shard of Millenniumon landed, and that's just what the area is called. The one basically that's actually his being and not just pieces, I guess, is the way you'd want to put it.
Still not sure why it's called Faga, but yeah.
Hopefully we get
an explanation later.
Yeah, hopefully. The problem is we've all said that 100 times. Is the one issue. Is we keep going.
I mean,
hopefully this comes up later.
Yeah, at this point, we all know that there's an asterisk next to that to that statement going. They may not actually explain it, and this is one where I honestly don't. I doubt they will explain it. I would like one, but otherwise, it's a name, and then you don't necessarily need to explain names.
And then we end up in Underwater Town, and the 5-0 come after them. I'm sorry, I started laughing when the boxing glove started to like do the sirens.
and get the fly 5-0 theme going.
Yeah. And then nice looking Underwater Town, I will say, where we get the little shells, we get all kinds of little emphasis stuff, which is nice.
And there's a little bit of world building going on with the explaining why they're all down there. I liked that.
Yeah, it was interesting. And everyone likes Penmon in this episode, it seems like. And
everyone likes Penmon, period.
Yes, but it was funnier here.
It was used especially well this time.
And then
he is a good penguin.
Does anyone remember a week ago when people were like, a giant marine angemon? They normally do marine angemon so tiny. And I remember staring at it and going, it's like something doesn't look right there. And it was a hologram. Yeah. In fact, this might be the smallest marine angemon, I think.
You're right. It's actually, I know it's like a little bit smaller.
Yeah, and the best part is even Sora's like, oh, it's so tiny and cute. And that was just amusing.
I like that they actually pointed out, it's like, hey, you have a holy ring too.
And that they pointed out that Patamon doesn't.
Yeah. And Patamon sort of sat there looking slightly upset.
I kind of hope that's a thing. It doesn't have to be.
I don't think that's a thing. I think that was more just clarifying very quickly because they decided to point out, oh, we can trust this Digimon because it has a ring.
Sure. And then, like this isn't one of those things where if they don't come back to it and talk about it, it's going to hurt the series. But it could be cool.
Oh, and the weird thing was you would expect it to be a prior voice for Marina Angemon, and instead we got Lalamon.
That's right, yeah.
That's a weird random voice. Like, don't get me wrong, it's nice for Yukana to come back. It just feels a bit odd for it. It feels like that's telling us that we probably will not get Lalamon later, though, because you would save that, wouldn't you?
I mean, they could have
Potentially.
Lalamon show up later and just going pee pee pa 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 pa.
That's where you get random useless Sunflowmon in the background.
Yeah. And the majority of this episode is basically, well, it's in the title, Hikari and Tailmon.
Yeah, which is good. Like, they
Yeah.
actually talked about, they focused on Tailmon, established her as a character, and did something with their relationship beyond they're all lovey-dovey huggy. They're Hikari wants to be lovey-dovey huggy, Tailmon wants to kick some ass, and there's a little bit of a difference in a difference in philosophy there, which is really important in a series like this where evolution.
I'm not sure how important it is because it kind of feels like that may be done with, to be honest.
May what be done with?
The idea that they're not on the same page.
Oh no, they get over. I mean, they resolve it. That's that's fine. They
okay.
But
I thought you were saying it as like an ongoing character thing. They weren't going to be
doesn't. No, it doesn't have to be. What I'm saying is, like, when you think about what's the key to evolution in this series, as far as we can tell, if there's anything, it is the relationship between the kids and their Digimon. And for everything to be so smooth has been one of the major failings of this series. So to introduce any sort of conflict, even if it's simple, even if it's resolved quickly, is a positive.
You're
Yeah,
not
because
wrong,
I just
but
remember like Sora in the previous series where she was having problems with like Piomon and everything, and
I mean, the best example of that would be Tamers, because like Tamers was the other series where the dynamic between the kids and their partners was really the key to evolution.
oh,
In
man,
other series, it's generally something else.
we have
But this is the
we
series.
have Tamer's stuff later that people aren't going to be happy about.
Well, but in that regard,
Yeah.
like the Tamers had these, like, they have little disagreements and difference in philosophies. All three of the main partnerships have those kinds of issues, and they go throughout the entire series, and that's what builds the relationships. And that's really one of the best parts of Tamers. Like, that's why I like Tamers so much. So, like, that's seeing that replicated in any fashion in a series like this, I think is really important.
Yeah. And most of the stuff is resolved. We have to bring up the most important thing when Marina Angemon decides to move the city, and it is moved using Penmon's ice creams.
Yes, because that works.
Yeah, that worked so. Like, here's the thing: when Marina Angemon was like, "Oh, we'll move the city to take you back to the current," I thought it was just going to be like floaty pink Marina Angemon energy, and then all of a sudden they start turning the thing on top of Penmon's head, and we start seeing the ice creams turn. I'm like, "Oh, that's like that's fucking clever."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, where the hell they get a giant skeleton?
I mean, things happen.
Yeah, you're allowed giant skeletons wherever you want them.
Yes. I mean, here's the thing. Most of us weren't super bothered by random train cars sitting around.
No.
In a place that does not have train.
It's the digital world. It's the digital world. You can put random crap wherever you want to.
And then
that's all fair game.
And then the rest of the episode is mostly punch battle. And AR's dream of Pegasusmon continuing to appear continues to appear.
I mean, my dream was the fact that the fact that the punch battle actually served a purpose in bringing Tailmon and Hikari, kind of bridging that gap.
Yeah.
Using that battle for story reasons instead of using it for battle.
And she has her Digivice now.
Mm-hmm.
So we can
They even held off on giving her an evolution for an episode.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was gonna pop up right then, didn't you? Honestly.
I was ready for it, and I think it's better that they waited. Like
Oh
they
no,
didn't need to go there.
it 100% is. But like when we got the slow motion, you know, double reach thing, I was like, oh, it's gonna be the Digivice, and they're gonna start off the evolution and then finish it next episode or something like that.
Yeah. But no, that's
Yeah.
that's
And
all
then
they needed to do.
yeah,
That's
and then
good.
they're back in the
Yep.
currents with
Got one more
Commandamon.
episode.
Yeah. And yeah. And it's odd. The episode like hit correctly enough that it feels like I don't have much to say about it, to be honest.
Yeah, this is like if I'm angry about one thing, it's like this was so simple, and why can't they do this more often?
Now,
Like
Just
now,
lucky that's why.
this is all you need to do.
so now it's time to place your bets. Do we get an announcement of a new opening next week or the week after? It feels like we're like right on the cusp of it, doesn't it? Like
I'm gonna go week after.
for the announcement, meaning you think it's going to be episode 37 when we get a new opening.
Ooh.
Because if they announce it next
Yeah.
week, it will be 36.
Yeah. Okay, I can see 36.
Yeah, because we're going to get Angemon next week, so we have...
Yeah.
Yeah. So then what they can do is instead of spoiling Angemon, they can then go ahead and just show us the ultimate forms.
Yeah, well, just tease the ultimates.
Yeah.
Or just show the ultimates.
Oh, no, see, they'll show some of them in shadows to try to tease us, and we'll just go...
They'll do the Tamers thing, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. See, in Tamers, it at least felt like there was some emphasis to it because they weren't necessarily Digimon we knew at the time.
I don't even think Tamers is the only one that's done it. Tamers is just the most pronounced and obvious about it.
Yeah. Yeah, because Tamers does the stop screen on them, which makes it 100 times more prominent to do it. But yeah.
Yeah. It's like okay, Renamon DLC.
And then next week we get a time when, honestly, another time when it feels like the episode translation doesn't quite work. The glowing Angelomon. I mean, just use sparkling or glittering or something. Glowing feels... glowing
they all glow.
Work. Yeah.
Anytime there's an evolution, it's glowy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's bring some glitter on those tits.
Okay, time.
Sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that one. So now we get the most important bet for episode 35. Does she get what we would actually call an evolution sequence?
Yes.
So you think she'll be the third character to get one?
Well, it'll probably be like a drawn one rather than like a 3D model.
No, that's right. No, well, we haven't really had much in the way of 3D models in the show, to be honest, at all. Have we had any, actually? For the evolutions? I don't think we've had any.
I don't think so. No.
I mean, maybe the Koromon to Agumon one did, maybe, but... So you think we're going to have, like, the full-on fancy, spinny ring thingamajigger thing?
It's going to be kind of like Lilymon, I feel like.
It's going to be the one.
That's what I mean. Will we have normal animation made to look nice, or will it be an actual sequence thing?
No.
I feel like it'll just be animation made to look nice.
Yeah, animation made to look nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like we're at the point where they might do it with Angelomon just to make it feel fancy. If there's anyone you would do it for, it would be now, it feels like. But, yeah, they probably won't. So we'll see what comes up with that next week. And we have the box layout for the second Adventure Blu-ray and DVD set. I mean, it was obvious they were going to keep doing the theme, but does it feel nicer here because the colors, I think like the red and blues work better than the orange and purples?
It has a nicer contrast.
Yes, it looks, especially like the booklet had the bright orange, so it was kind of ugly. So yeah, and can they please stop with Can they stop just going, it will have a clean ending? Whatever. It's just, the show does not have so many things that they have to, like, be cutesy and hide it. So, yeah. And then,
People, if they didn't advertise it, people would probably go, "Where is my clean ending?"
no, I'm saying, just say
Jeez.
it's, no, I'm saying, just say it's Q. We know it is. There's
Yeah.
nothing else for it to be. It's Q. They're not saying it, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then in even prettier box stuff, so for the Adventure 99 to 2001 Blu-ray box, first up we get clean and high-resolution versions of the front and back cover, which we've seen them before, but much nicer here. Like, to the degree that
Just continue marveling at how pretty they are.
yeah, it's where they're so much nicer than what we had before that they functionally look entirely new, basically. Because they were small, they had the sample text, and then we get the box layout, and I hate the box layout because I look at the packaging layout and I go, fuck, I'm going to buy this stupid thing, aren't I? Like, so the box looks nice. I actually like the way it does the, like, wavy effect bridge on the spine.
I'm not sure about that. I think that's a little too contrasty for my taste for a spine.
I agree with you, but it kind of feels like the way in Adventure in 02, where when they would do the wavy effect between worlds, it kind of feels like that to me. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and then we get to see. I like that they aren't. So the booklet this time is basically they've combined previous booklets, and it uses the artwork from the prior booklets, but line art versions, which I actually like the look of that to me. But I can also understand. I think a lot of people would have preferred the full color art again.
Yeah, but we've
And,
seen that before, and
yeah,
this kind
and
of like
now
It's a little refreshing.
now the cases are very refreshing to me. We don't get digipacks. It uses artwork we've seen, but laid out very nicely. Where we get the line art of the characters with the backgrounds. The text is done cleanly at the top left with the art at the bottom right, the background in the middle. I actually really like the look of that. And the discs, I love. It's very clean, maybe even too clean, but I kind of love the way they've given them a bit of personality with the colors. And,
I like gradients.
well, to be fair, only two of them have gradients. The rest do just start and stop for the colors. Yes.
Fancy.
And I'm surprised that no one has asked about what the seventh one is for the O2 kids.
It's probably because you weren't paying that much attention.
Yeah, it's Pipimon. Because most people don't know that him and Oikawa were on the box for O2. Like, as one of the main characters shown off on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really like the set, and I kind of hate that I'm seriously considering buying it.
Your wallet's gonna hate you, dude.
We'll see. And that's where it gets funny. At this point, looking at how many people from the site have bought it, more people have bought this than Tamers and Frontier combined on Blu-ray for pre-orders. Just from With the Will users, that is.
I'm not really surprised because it's, one of the more popular series and it's a lot more affordable than the
Yeah, like here's the thing. It 100% is expensive, but if you were gonna just buy Japanese discs, the price actually is pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, price per episode's great.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm seriously thinking I'm gonna be stupid and get this. I should not, but I'm considering it. It's so pretty. And then moving
Well,
off
think of
from,
what's more important, pretty Blu-ray discs or, a big statue of Omegamon shanking Diabloman.
well, pre-orders for that are closed and I didn't get it. So that's done. And moving on from that, hey, it's Vital Bracelet updates. So first up, we got to see the babies. more the large profile art of his baby forms, Dokimon and Bibimon. Now, I believe we did see the art before, just like not nice, correct? We got them tiny.
Yeah, they look familiar.
Well, I know we definitely got the sprites. I don't remember seeing the
I thought we'd gotten the
Digimon
art.
Bandai art.
I thought we got it in tiny corners in the chart image they had shown, or were those just the sprites?
Those were just
Might
the
have-
sprites.
Okay. Yeah. The one issue with all of the Pulsemon stuff is they and they even said it, they purposely have taken design cues from familiar stuff. So you keep looking at stuff going, have I seen this before? And the problem is you can see the elements from other Digimon, so you kind of go, yes, and I don't know if that means I've seen these or not. Yeah, and then we got Shadow Howl, as expected, will not be 100. They'll be giving away 5,000 of them via retweets and a website contest thing. So plenty of those. They will also be giving out a V-Jump Digimon guide, which Vital Bracelet, Rear Eyes, card game, show figures, all that stuff. The full Diginavi will have Kokolo and Yuki-Owai back for it. They will show off the second. I call it a short, but it's more like a little promo type video thing. I'm not quite sure what. I'm not quite sure what to call it because it's not yet. PV probably makes the most sense though. And then Digimon Classroom went over the history of V-Pets along with their new member. They put up a little notice. They recorded in December, and I think they meant to put it up then, and it got delayed due to so many non-Digimon videos they were throwing up. Another member has joined, and then hey, look, card game stuff. So let's start off with Pulse.
There are conversations in this one.
Yeah, so let's start off with Pulsemon getting a promo card, and that will be in Vital Bracelet boxes for those who order early. And that's a nice looking card, and Nakano Haito's done Digimon art for many years. It looks nice. And then let's start going through everything else, and I'll go over them quickly, and if someone needs to, you stop me, okay? Just because there's... So, Black Megalogromon. Good art. Him fighting Metal Greymon's amusing. Drawn well. Next up is the one that everyone seemed to either love or hate, which is Bancho Lilymon.
I mean, you love it
the
because
full art cards.
You love it because it's Bancho Lilymon.
Yeah. There were a lot of complaints about this one.
It's a pretty standard pose.
Yeah. It's very, especially for a Bancho character.
Yeah, but it's Bancho Lilymon, so
yeah,
it's forgiven.
Then Bluekomon. Everyone was very happy.
I like the little Penmon in the background.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I like the art. Something about it doesn't quite feel like Bluekomon. It feels almost more like one of his evolutions to me. Something about it
looks like ready to fight.
Yeah. Omegamon. Hey, look, it's Omegamon. And we've seen this one before.
You don't see me interrupting for this one.
Yeah. Zasomon. I assume this is the one you wanted to talk about.
No.
No? Well, it's another Digimon World reference. I love the... I'm still laughing at the Monochromon in the background. Where, like, he has this, like, cute face. Whistling. Okay. Shademon and Omegamon Zwart. Yeah, I knew you wanted to talk about Shademon.
Of course I'm going to talk about Shademon. we had weeks of Shademon versus Eismon discourse, and everyone wondering, it's like, okay, are they just going to retire Shademon?
I didn't wonder. I didn't wonder at all. I just sat there going, man, I can't wait for them to just say who it is so we can be done with that.
Yeah,
because you had people
thought it was Eismon, and like, okay, so that's like the new Shademon.
You had people trying to measure the eyes to decide what it meant, and it's like, man, it's just like they could change anything on a dime if they wanted to. Omegamon Zwart we had already seen, but nice to get the clean art.
And have they had an Eismon card yet?
We had Nidhoggmon. I don't remember if we had Eismon himself though.
Okay. Because I want to have a
I
deck.
don't
I
remember.
want to have a deck with both Shademon and Eismon.
I don't remember if I don't think Eismon has. The more I think about it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I can check.
I'm pretty sure he didn't. And then
I can't tell anymore.
And then the most important card, the Dual Tamer Koshiro and Mimi card that basically everyone saw and loved.
I want all my ships on cards now.
And then Fun Digica 69
Hey,
gave
they
us.
already have a. They have a Taichi. This is the second ship on a card. They already have Taichi Yamato.
So we got Omega Shoutmon, which great. The problem with saying great art is how many cards have we actually seen where we go, yeah, this is bad art? How many have we actually had issues with art-wise? Minus me still being annoyed about the Plutomon not being colored black, no matter what anyone tells me. So there's Omega Shoutmon, Hexablaumon doing Absolute Blast, Tactimon, which everyone was like, Tactimon, so happy.
Yeah.
Then
Tactimon.
It's a really, really cool dynamic pose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tactimon's already a favorite, so.
Yeah. Then we get the Dual Tamer card for Taichi Yamato, but AR already used up his joke. Then we get Alteris mode and Sagittarius mode, which we saw the art for these, but these are so much nicer now to fill in. And I always pronounce this wrong. Rafflesimon?
Sure.
Close enough. Good art, about what you'd expect for her. And then, let's see what's next. Okay, so early magazine previews, we got to see. We've already seen the Omegamon card they'll give away, but they showed off an Agumon one. And then we also got previews from set 5. Along with, we get to see the 4th Tamer Battle Pack and Winners cards, which, shockingly enough, they've picked decent Digimon each time. So we got Sirenmon, Aerovedramon, Andromon, and Chimeramon. Chimeramon's the Winners card this time. We also got to see from Booster Set 5 Roto-Knightmon, Wargreymon, Black Wargreymon, Chris Paledramon, Sora and Joe. Can we all just say how amusing it is that the first Dual Tamers card we actually saw was Sora and Joe?
Yeah, that's kind of a crack ship, but
yeah,
Resurrection. It's fair. There's hints.
Resurrection of Darkness and Fusion to the combined Ultimate Digimon.
The Transportation Digimon.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of card stuff this time. Even for normal, we have a lot of cards to talk about. We have confirmation of what Double Diamond is. It is the Kizuna Digimon. And I would still like to know if the name actually did have some eclectic clue to it, or if people guessing them just did happen to be it. Because the explanation that people came up with afterwards just kind of made me go, eh. The explanation that people were giving was roughly, well, diamonds are the bonds put together in a specific way to end up more than blah blah, and the Kizuna Digimon blah 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 bonds.
No.
Yeah, that was about my reaction.
People just
you can get away with a diamond reference if it's all 8 of them, but
yeah,
it's obviously a JoJo reference.
I'm just explaining what people came up with.
Everything's a JoJo reference.
Yeah, see, it would have been funnier.
There's so many things that can be JoJo reference that I can say anything and it will make sense to someone.
Exactly.
It would have been funnier if the JoJo references were made the first 10 times we got JoJo in the West and everyone just ignored it. And then with the starter decks, Dukemon and UL Force Digimon, I like the art on the front for all 4 Digimon we see here, although I feel like the award goes to UL Force Digimon for just the best art.
God, so cool. I want a poster of that.
Yeah, that is so good.
I wonder if we'll have that artwork on a playmat.
They vary. I would guess around when these two come out, we will get a printable playmat with both of them. That is my
That would be
guess.
awesome.
And then we know what the 4 sleeves are. We get Pulsemon, we get Machine Dramon and various evil Digimon, we get War Greymon and Dukemon, and Agumon and Gabumon. And all of these are up for pre-order already.
Sweet.
I'm still trying to decide, like, the UL Force arts is so, like, I look at the Kazuna Digimon art and I'm like, I'm kind of looking forward to the parallel art of those, because I almost want something more cartoony from those two. Like, they're
I could see that.
a bit too realistically done there. Like, I want something like the Dukemon or UL Force of Idramon art. That's what I want. So we'll see. The booster is in May. Thought I had the date down somewhere, but apparently not. The starter decks are in April, and the sleeves are also in April. And how's everyone feeling about the English name for Booster Set 5, which is probably the universal guess, which was Battle of Omni?
They
Me.
really tried on that one.
It is exactly what we all expected, though, isn't it, realistically? Yeah, we have no specific date.
Yeah.
We have no specific
Yeah.
date or other information for it, minus that the cards match up number-wise
That
with
was
yeah.
good use of find replace, guys.
Like, couldn't have got. I would have just gone with either Battle of Omega, leave it as is, and just go with Omega being like a final battle, or do something
Mm-hmm.
like
Omni battle.
Omni battle, Omni war, do something. Battle of Omni it doesn't read that well to me.
Omni is exclusively a prefix. Omega is versatile. That's
Yeah.
the difference, and that's why it doesn't work.
Yeah. And Fun Digica did their viewer suggestion battle. Card battle finished off their team competition, and it looks like next time they're going to be splitting into more teams. The one guy was fake crying, and he was holding the Andromon helmet, and he had on a Hideyoshi shirt, which was amazing. And like, you can see the card, I believe his name's Goto P, the card producer, next to him pointing at him, and you can just see Goto P like trying not to laugh desperately at the shirt. And Hideyoshi is right to the side, and you can see him like doing the mock smile, like, I'm trying not to laugh desperately. And they
Poor
did
guy.
and then they did a Road to Digimon Card Master, which was Q&A. And then we got a whole stack of various other card type updates. So first up, the first anniversary parallel card vote began, and the rules were slightly. We thought it was no parallel cards at all, but it looks like if you got a parallel card after the card came out, it's still eligible. So, like, if someone showed up in a Tamer battle pack, it was still eligible. So you can vote for 3 of them, and they will show up in booster set 6 as a box topper. And then they announced March online events in the West, and one of the prizes for the winners, everyone went kind of nuts at. Multiple Japanese posters were like, when are we going to get this? Which is the very nice playmat of Metal Greymon Virus, Metal Mamemon, with the V-Pet theming around them with the battle text in the middle. Really nice. Really nice.
I want one just to hang it up.
Yeah, because I believe this is actually accurate to how it'll be printed, where it will not have the placemat stuff. So this actually would work as a nice, like, framed poster thing. And we have
nice.
and we have the nice sprites at the top, because like the War Greymon one that went up for pre-order before, that doesn't have the card placement overlays on it. So it appears this one will not either. So yeah.
Good.
And then Bandai TCG Connect's doing their own little online thing where you can basically use the serial codes you get from matches to try to sign up to win 5,000 basically batches of things you would have gotten in card shops for events. Battle Pack 3 and 4, the Kazuna Scene Vote card, like that. And they also teased that Tamer Exchange meetings after April will have Pulsemon cards with different art from the one they've already shown off. And it appeared they were referring in plural to it, so we might get multiple more Pulsemon cards, so we will see. So it'll be interesting to see what pops up there. Is that enough card game stuff for everyone today for this week?
It's too much.
You had me at Shademon.
The Imperial Digimon model kit's out. We don't normally point out when stuff comes up, but they did a nice little article showing how everything works. It nicely is not as insane as the Alphamon Digivolving Spirits figure, which just made everyone go ugh.
Nothing is as bad as that.
I still like.
I'm still fighting with mine. I'm still fighting with it.
Look, the best part of that was when they did the stream and they did the race of staff members to transform it. And I honestly don't remember if they finished. I think they just stopped and they were stuck.
They didn't.
No, yeah, no. For me, the best part was that they explained that it was complex because it was a Royal Knight.
Yeah, and
that was my favorite.
And I believe that one sold well initially, and then has just sort of been sitting around everywhere. And they've been looking.
I went into last time I went into a Barnes and Noble, it was still there.
Yeah. I will say this: it 100% does tell you that people saying something is going to sell does not mean it will. And hey, look, it's the Ultimate Digimon you would recommend poll.
The hell happened here?
Well, we know what happened.
Obviously, more ballot stuffing.
Yeah, we know what happened. I'm setting you up here.
Well, here's the thing. It's dumb, and we've pointed out before, like,
at this point, they're like, they want to. At this point, the people who are voting on this want to prove that it's dumb.
No, see, here's the thing. We've gone over it. It's basically various groups in the Latin fandom, and they're like, we've proven that the Latin fandom should be respected more and should get more stuff. It's like, that's not what we've gone over this. This literally proves the opposite.
You're proving that this whole exercise is stupid.
Yeah, it does not. Not only that, they seem to think that this would guarantee like an appearance in the anime. And
I wouldn't complain about that. I like Minervamon. Minervamon's in my main Re-Rise team.
No, X.
Hey. Oh, to hell with her.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's so you get rid of the
vanilla Minervamon.
Yeah, that yeah. You get rid of those three, and the list is effectively what you would expect. Although we have seen a nice boost from War Greymon since he showed up in the anime.
Because War Greymon kicks ass.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and there's also, there's probably enough of a subset of people who don't consider Omegamon an ultimate.
Yeah, that also. Even though there is literally no super ultimate level.
Yeah, I'm not getting into that conversation. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And then, hey, look, a new poll open, and what's AR? Why don't you tell our audience what the poll is?
Favorite X antibody Digimon.
I wonder what the results will be on this one.
Oh no, because they're gonna switch it up and do someone completely different.
No, watch. I got message from various other Latin groups, like from Brazil and elsewhere, going, we're gonna go for Dark Knightmon X to fight Minerva. It's like, guys, I understand the emphasis, but there's really no reason to care because it doesn't do anything for them. It lets them think they've done something important, and the rest of us are just sitting there rolling our eyes.
So you're saying I'm right that they're going to pick somebody different for this one?
No, because I don't think the Brazil fandom was ever involved with it in the first place.
Oh,
it's
so
like
you're saying it's going to be.
It's now we have various fandom groups who all are going to do something stupid, thinking they're going to like beat back the wave, and it doesn't. It seriously doesn't matter. That's why it's so fun.
We all know Monthemon X is the best one.
That's why it was so fun for me to post this, go to sleep, and just get a bunch of messages when I woke up of people who think they're trolling me. It's just like, block, 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 block. And it's like, I don't, like, AR, you know me, and Devs
really
knows me very
well. That much of a fuck.
How much do you honestly think I care beyond that I just had to put the... Do you think I don't even think I voted in this one, to be honest. I don't think... It doesn't matter. it's just
I'm voting for Monzaimon X right now just because I think it's important to me.
yeah. And then next up, we got the profile art for lovely Angemon, who is in Rearise now, along with renders for her, Alphamon BP, and Magnamon BP.
I really wouldn't mind getting like card art of the recolors.
See, unfortunately, Dev, now they will hear you, and what they'll do is it will literally just be these renders on cards.
Oh God.
Remember when they did that for X Evolution when it was just like the profile renders and that was it?
Ugh.
Although I have to admit, that Magnamon pose actually would look good on the card, but it needs to be drawn. And I believe Alphamon's clipping on his knee.
Let me zoom in.
Something's going on with that knee there. Yeah, and lovely Angemon's pose is nice, and they're really playing with the magical girl thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's so appropriate for Michi too. I love it.
Yeah. And then
Maho Shoujomon.
And then we have more art stuff. So first up, Wada Koji's birthday. We got photos from Volcano Oda and the Digimon music producer. And Volcano Oda drew Koji Angemon once again, with him waving down to Volcano Oda in costume as Volcamon.
It's sweet.
It is funny because he does not think he's a good artist, but he's so good. Like, anytime we see art from Volcano Oda, it is a high point of the week just to see art from him. And the Digimon music producers suggest that we'll be getting quite a bit of Digimon music from them, which is interesting because, as far as I know, he's a producer at Feel Me, and Feel Me doesn't have anything Digimon scheduled at the moment. They're not doing the music for the current show, so we'll see what pops up there.
Maybe some re-releases.
Well, that's the thing. He said new songs, so we'll see. And then it was the anniversary of Digimon World coming out. We got a photo of the game, new in box, and social art of Agumon running to poop. And the message they posted for it was a toilet, along with a very good combination of emojis, I have to say. Like, it works really well for the artwork. That really works well, doesn't it?
Maybe I should boot that up again because I have the PS2 hooked up in my room.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have to pay me to play Digimon World more. And then the episode art itself. So instead of art, we got the profiles of all the Digimon who cameoed, or more than cameoed. Nice selection there. And once again, Kenji Watanabe just blowing away with the art of Hikari and Tailmon napping with Commandomon.
He looks so soft and fluffy.
Yeah. It is amazing and strange to see art where like you can see it's him, but it's not his normal line and shading type style. It just works really well. And then we have questions. So you guys in the chat can start throwing yours up as you think of them, and we'll start with the ones that were sent in ahead of time. Someone wanted to know, what is everyone's favorite sibling dynamic from Digimon?
Let's see. Do you want the one that I actually kind of admire as a sibling dynamic and I think has really cool stuff going on, or do I want the absolute train wrecks that are just fun to watch destroy each other?
I mean, my personal guess is a train wreck.
I mean, those are the most fun to talk about.
So Daisuke and Jun is the winner then.
Actually, that one's closer to the normal side. Now, the normal side winner would be Masaru and Shika, believe it or not. Like, there's actually stuff to talk about there. I really like Masaru and Shika's dynamic. I like that whole family. That's one of my favorite families in Digimon because everyone in it, parents and kids, are all interesting characters.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what mine is. I think it would probably be Taichi and Hikari, but specifically from Tri because of how much that goes off the rails and screws stuff up.
Oh yeah, Try definitely amplifies that
Yeah.
relationship just because they are both completely nuts in that
Hmm.
one. Where in most of the franchise, it's just Taichi who's completely nuts,
Yeah.
where Hikari is only nuts because involuntarily.
Yeah.
But it's my absolute train wreck though is Ryuji and Erika from Hacker's Memory. Like that's Taichi and Hikari on crystal meth. That's that's my favorite train wreck sibling relationship.
My favorite train wreck sibling relationship is going to be Neo Saiba and Rei Saiba.
I was gonna suggest that one too.
that
That's
that
another
that
great.
that
That's
feels like a
another
cheat.
fantastic. That's a fantastic train wreck too.
Ugh.
Nene and Katone is good too, if you want train wrecks.
We're just gonna end up
Nene and
going through every
anything.
sibling dynamic, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can rank the sibling dynamics from healthy to good lord.
Next up is one I laughed when I saw this just because it's such an amusing one to me. Is Itmon X really based on an anime character, or were we joking about that? Is the anime worth watching? 100% not kidding at all. Like, like even when I said it when the profile art showed up, the profile itself like confirms this. Like 100%. It has a complicated light novel name. I need to double check the name of the franchise. Okay, I'll go with the
Love
translated one.
something and
Yeah,
Chunibyo.
Love Chunibo and Other Delusions, because the Japanese name is much longer. But yes, like if you read the X antibody profile of Ipmon, having seen the anime, you will just start to laugh because that's 100% what it. Like part of the profile is it wears an eye patch and a scarf, believing that they contribute to its aloof aura. Removing its eye patch will allow it to unleash its true power, which is what Ipmon assumes, though it does not appear to have any actual effect on the strength of its techniques. The main character in it wears an eye patch, and she keeps telling everyone about how she has a magical eye, and the main guy will literally just grab the eye patch and like pull it back and snap it on her to get her to stop. Like it is 100% that character. It 100%. There's no joke involved here. And yeah, it's a KyoAni show, which those tend to be very, very watchable and good. Very pretty also. Yeah, there's no joke there at all. Watch the show and then read it. Have Immon's profile printed out next to you or on your phone when you're watching it, and you'll just start giggling at random regarding it. Yeah.
It's a long profile. They went nuts with it.
Well, no, it's short. It's that I believe Wikimon appends the non-X one above it.
Oh yeah.
Because the actual X one's quite short. Then someone wants to know what's a Digimon introduced in the past year or so you like.
You know, this had me.
Pamamon.
I was gonna, Pamamon was really close. I actually was like scrambling to pull up the new Pendulum Digimon to remember which ones I like the best, and I was about to say Pamamon, and then I realized no, it's Morphomon.
Yeah, Morphomon seems like the cheat. Morphomon is the cheat answer because it's the answer we can all come up with without researching.
Well, I know,
Because
and
Morphomon's cute and memorable.
But that's the thing is, I was doing research. I'm like, okay, which of these did I remember liking a lot? And then I'm like, no, I don't like any of these more than Morphomon.
Yeah, Morphomon is occasionally harder for us to remember because we played 20 questions of not mentioning Morphomon to avoid spoilers for people as long
Oh
as we
yeah,
could. Where it's like,
yeah.
oh, this Digimon looks neat and has something to do with the movie.
We can talk about
Yes, we can talk
Morphomon
about
now.
Morphomon. Yeah. And Dev, I think you said Palmamon really quickly.
Yes, it is just my absolute
Yeah.
favorite for the past year.
Now,
That's the choice from the new Pendulum set for sure.
can we make the joke that if you rip it open, red comes out? Because that's what pomegranates do.
Well, it's actually a dragon fruit.
Oh, I thought it was a pomegranate. Oh, you're right. You're right. People did bring up that it was a Yeah, it was dragon fruit.
Yeah, that's
My brain just keeps going back to pomegranate. Well, the name.
I mean, I actually recognized what it was immediately just because dragon fruit flavored things are absolutely delicious.
Yeah. And then Joe wants to know, what is our favorite standalone or independent filler type episode from each Digimon season?
that's hard.
Yeah,
I kind of
Oh,
like the episode in Tamers where they're all baking bread with Gilmon.
Oh, that's a good one.
See, the problem
That's a
is
fun one.
that requires like really think, because Digimon episodes aren't quite as fillery as other shows.
Yeah.
So my brain
that's the-
keeps. So my brain will keep. So like people will go, oh, a lot of people would name the O2 Christmas episode, except that isn't. That has important stuff happening in
No,
it.
the 0 to Christmas episode's really important. That's
No,
not filler
that's
at
what I
all.
mean though.
That introduces an arc.
No, that's what I mean though. Is
Yeah.
people will go, oh, it was just a Christmas episode,
No,
and they will have
that's
forgotten.
the problem. Yeah. Well, because the Chris, I mean, that episode is, it's a Christmas episode. There's the whole shipping thing going on there. People forget that that's a really important episode with everything else that goes on in it.
Yeah, Digimon doesn't do a lot of standalone fillers. It generally has stuff. Like
generally the answer is somewhere in Frontier, but I didn't like the Frontier filler as much as other people did. Like everyone, I'm like the only person in existence who didn't like the Burgermon episode of Frontier. I'm really weird like that.
I don't even remember if that was filler or not. It's one of those things where it's been
It-
so long since I watched it.
It was an advertisement.
But
Yeah.
I don't remember if anything happens in it that would make it not filler.
Not really, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to think of some Atmon filler that I liked, but
Okay, Ramon wants to know, who do we think would win in a fight between Bluecomon and Pulsemon?
It depends on how well your Fitbit's doing. If you're in shape, then Pulsemon's gonna win. If you're not, Bluecomon's gonna destroy him.
Yeah.
It's up to you, dude.
And then someone said they liked when we recommend stuff, but they haven't watched much in the way of older anime movies. And do we have any recommendations of stuff we grew up with or discovered later that is not new? I thought we recommend old stuff all the time, don't we?
Yeah. Go
Pretty often.
Like, have I recommended Nadesco yet? I think I have.
See, Nadesco's so easy. See, I feel like there's a list.
though.
I 100%. Although, but here's the thing. Well, they said movie though, because you wouldn't watch. You wouldn't watch that without the show for sure.
I wouldn't watch it with the show, to be honest. Nadesco movie's not very good.
Yeah, as far as I feel like we can't say Eiko because we've gushed about Eiko a few. So I'm gonna go with the Street Fighter 2 animated movie. That's so good. Like that really is Street Fighter.
I kind of really like the first Inuyasha movie. I rewatched that off and on.
Oh, you know what I'll recommend is the Slayers movies are actually more standalone than you would think. Like, because those are all
they are, but you still have to know. You still kind of have to know Slayers though, to really appreciate them. I think, don't you?
I know, the Slayer, because the Slayers Slayers the motion picture. That doesn't even have like Gowry and Amelia and all of them. That's just Lena and Naga.
Okay, I'm misremembering those movies entirely then.
Well, there's a couple Slayers movies with the TV series cast, but no, the original Slayers movies are like just Lena and Naga on standalone adventures, and those two have enough personality within themselves, and they play off each other really well, that if there is any context going on with them, it doesn't matter because they're so enjoyable. So I would say go check out the original, I think they're pre-TV series Slayers movies.
Okay, I have another answer. It's a good cheat one, but it's a cheat in the sense of, yes, you should watch other stuff in the franchise first, but the movie's so fucking good. The first Tenchi movie.
Oh yeah.
The time travel.
It's It's a cheat answer.
I
'cause
have
you-
not seen that one.
That movie is so fucking good. And here's the thing. It's a cheat because yes, it is a sequel specifically to the TV show, but it does work as a standalone film, but you really should know the characters first. It is so good. Like, it is
So I feel
everything.
like a cheat answer would be pretty much anything by
Well, you said
Studio Ghibli.
You said Inuyasha.
Well, Studio Ghibli would be a cheat answer.
Yeah, well, yes.
Well, yeah.
I will recommend Cagliostro.
I was really close to recommending Rojin Z. So
See, Cagliostro is a cheat answer because it came out last Tuesday on disc, and I worked on it. That's an alternate cheat answer. My name's on the disc, so I 100% remember that one.
I'm proud that I managed to pull the original Slayers movies. I haven't seen those in at least 10 years.
Yeah. Nadesco, that would have been a great one if it was specifically a TV show question. I don't even remember the movie, to be honest. I literally don't remember the movie at all.
Well, the movie's a problem because it's not only post-series, it's post-series, and there's like I think it's either a comic or a video game that goes in between it to explain what happens between the series and the movie. And if you don't have that,
that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. I recommend everyone not do that. Just okay. Balmung wants to know, what's one thing we want to see in the digital world of adventure? No one is allowed to say train car.
Characters.
GAR. How can I keep making old man Pulver jokes if you're gonna make it so easy for me?
I went the toilet.
Jeez.
So far we have toilet, not the train car, and old man Pulver. Let's see. See, that's.
I'm trying to think because generally, the way they do a lot of the stuff in the digital world are a lot of, they do throw in a lot of throwbacks. So it's like if we're trying to think nostalgically back to a video game or something, it's like there's a pretty good odds they'll sneak that in there somehow. I'm trying to go beyond that.
I want some more weird random shit.
Yeah, that's. I was kind of thinking.
Or a refrigerator in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, I was thinking what weird random shit I would expect.
The weird idiosyncratic stuff that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because we've seen it's a forest or it's an ocean, but we haven't seen any really weird shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of just it's a world
nature.
And not a Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah, that is one.
I want to see more Digimon functional purposes.
I think that's it for questions. Those were good and strange questions this time. Send in more questions like those.
Yeah. Actually, I had one. I'm going to pose this. I hope this is a little on the spot for this question, but I'm going to pose it because someone asked me this on Tumblr the other day. And who's the most important Digimon to never appear in the anime?
Important? Wait. Specifically important?
That was how it was worded. Was important, which I kind of like because it's a little. You can be a little more objective rather than like who's your favorite that hasn't shown up.
I'm thinking who's a Digimon that's important but has not shown up in the anime.
I said the correct answer is probably Vidramon. But I want to get your input on this.
See, I would probably agree with Vidramon, but it feels like that's kind of loopholing in because we've gotten versions of Vidramon showing up.
I mean, we all remember All Force's majestic cameo on Sabers that netted him a figure.
But yes, if you 100% are just gonna say form by form, like it's there's no one else but Vidramon.
My joke answer was Platinum Numamon because of its role in the Cyber Sleuth games.
Oh, actually, wait, I do have a potentially alternate one. We never got Priest Mode, did we?
No.
Oh.
No, we didn't.
I mean, we
don't think that's
did have angels dressed like priest mode in Cross Wars, I believe, but not priest mode himself.
They were just
And
wearing
and
generic cloaks.
Cross Wars knocked off Archidemon. Although I guess we haven't had all
Yes.
of his forms, which you could art, but that's
Yeah.
that one's kind of a cheat because that one feels like all
That's
those count as one.
all those are still
Yeah,
Archidemon, yeah.
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 But yeah, I would say it's Veedramon. There's no one
Yeah.
else. Oh wait,
Yeah. See
no, there is one. Fun. The first Digimon
Fun!
partner has never shown up in an anime.
Yeah.
Fun!
Because
Yeah.
here's the thing. Technically speaking, he is the first partner from like an actual fiction that wasn't just like a corner comic in a guidebook. So I would argue he actually is quite an important Digimon, and he isn't. He's never shown up in an. I don't think we've even gotten a sketch or sprite of him showing up.
No.
So yeah, Bun.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Bun is the answer.
It's still Platinum Numamon.
Yeah. And since we have the time, shall we do the question that we never figured out if it was a joke or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Just because I love my response to it.
Let's see. I want to find the actual wording. Oh, okay. I can't find the actual wording, but multiple people.
I hope that doesn't.
I don't know if I think people were I don't know if people were joking about it on Twitter, seriously saying, but multiple people want to know what was Digimon the first isekai? And we all kind of laughed at this because Digimon isn't even the first show like Digimon that went to another like we've talked about
Yeah, there's
El
Hazard and those things.
Like Lamune is literally
Oh
kid
yeah.
Kid gets
Yeah.
sent to a video game world and then collects
Oh yeah.
robots that he then throws out. It's literally Digimon years before Digimon. But I mean, here's the thing: if you really wanna just go, well, this is an isekai, this is an isekai, you could easily just point to Alice in Wonderland, frankly.
Say that the first isekai is Dante's Inferno. That counts, right? It's even an avatar of the author. So it's like it's that self-indulgent. It's like,
Close
the
enough.
author wants to go to another world where he's actually relevant. We've seen this story before.
But yeah, because I didn't have time to search to figure out if this was serious or if someone like where it came from. But we kind of went, if we have time, we'll throw it in. So the answer is no matter how you define isekai, whether you think Digimon's an isekai or not, if it is an isekai, it 100% is not the first one. It's not even the first one that's pretty much the same thing. Like,
yeah, I do consider Digimon isekai, at least adventure. It's absolutely not the first. No.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, there's. It's not even the first that does basically the same beat by beat setup.
It's not even the first one I've seen. I watched Fushigi Yugi before I watched Digimon.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's why I even brought up Lamune, because if you watch Lamune and you've seen Digimon,
yeah,
and Lamune even got the time skip sequel even. Like it
I think Fushigi Yugi did too, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, and in fact, Lamune even ends with him getting knocked back to the real world and not being able to meet up with them again, and then things happen and he does. Like if you watch Lamune, it's pretty close to Digimon. Like you can see where people got inspiration from Lamune pretty solidly, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Balmung in the chat room laughs in Rayearth.
Yep.
Yeah, Rayearth being
in Rayearth. Rayearth, absolutely. Yep, that's another one. El Hazard's another one. There's so many.
Yeah, it's not that's one of those. That's why we really were 100% not sure if it was just a joke we missed part of. But people were definitely sending this in, so there you go. It is not. AR, where can they find you, and do you have anything coming up in the next week?
I have that question I forgot to answer last week that I talked about. First Agent ARP is my Twitter, and Digimon.firstagent.net is my review site. So if you want to see a review of a new series episode that I actually liked, I know, right?
Yeah. And before Dev goes over hers, got at least one complaint in the past week that I don't let Dev advertise her Twitter, and I don't put it on the title card. Dev does not have a Twitter.
Dare you? How dare you not let Dev advertise her Twitter?
I'm the only sane one here not having a Twitter.
Yeah, literally the reason for the Wikimon segment is that's the only thing we could think of to give Dev something to talk about. Dev.
Yeah, because no one should go anywhere near my Tumblr.
Dev, brutally, without a Twitter, what Wikimon article do you want everyone to read? Which you will lazily choose 10 seconds before I ask you this question.
I chose it a couple of minutes. It's Saiba Ray, because she is one of my favorite characters from V-Tamer and half of the Disaster siblings.
Ray Saiba is an underrated character.
Look,
in
we all love
Ray needs more love.
We all love not Sora.
Yeah.
we all love not Sora. We all look forward to a day when the manga can be licensed, and no doubt someone will go, "Can we just call this character Sora?" when we translate it. And if they did, most people probably would not notice, to be honest. As much as I like her as a character, I don't think most people would notice if you just called her Sora and called Neo Matt.
I'm pretty sure I have found fanfics where Taichi gets into a triangle with Sora and not Sora at the same time.
That feels like something that would have popped.
Dumpster fire.
That would have popped up 21 years ago, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure it has Ty driving around Tokyo in his pickup truck, as fanfics from back then so often did, because we all know how many pickup trucks are driving around city like Tokyo. Look, and if someone doesn't understand what that joke is, there's so few pickup trucks in Japan. That's why when they did the real vehicle Transformer line, that Optimus was a truck. Because when Takara and Hasbro were budgeting for it, Takara's like, we can't. Pickup trucks are so rare in Japan, we wouldn't even be able to sell the toy unless it's him. That's why it's Convoy / Optimus Prime, because that was the compromise to even do it. Was it had to be someone that people would buy no matter what the vehicle was.
2008 is the first Sora Ray.
That's not even possible.
Well, it's probably not, because I think that's when they introduced character filters.
Okay. Look, I'm 100% sure it would have shown up around 2000, 2001. I remember the shipping.
Are you looking on fanfiction.net or on AO3?
Don't care about
fanfiction.net. No, fanfiction.net.
Okay, because a lot of people
AO3 is not old enough for that.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people cross-post their FF.net works onto AO3.
Not if they wrote them in 2008.
So,
you'd be surprised.
We will catch you guys next time. Probably with more. Oh God, the questions and weirdness this week were especially good, don't you think?
Somebody got Ray Saiba mixed up with Ray Katsura, and she's being shipped with Haru now.
You're gonna have a fun week, aren't you, AR?
There aren't that many Ray Saiba stories, so no, it's not going to take very long to get through these.
We will catch you guys. See, that can be a horrible idea for a special, is AR narrating fics that aren't his. Just bad fic narration.
They kept her in a wheelchair in this story. That's fair. That's good.
We will catch you guys next time.
I went to a convention panel with just that.
We will catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.